Hello, this is the Hollow One with a new game from top 10 games you can play in your head by yourself. It was requested that I do more of these, and well, I don't know how many I can actually do, but I'm gonna do my second favorite, called Another Life. Another life. The sun rises over yellow wind-swept fields of grain. The soft reds and striking yellows streaking across the sky, piercing through the fading night, bringing new life to this forgotten corner of America. Birds chirp, chittering and chattering, announcing the arrival of another day. You breathe in deeply and bring your hand to the spot of your cable-knit sweater that has soaked through with blood. You raise the fingers and inspect them, there in the nascent dawn. The bullet has done its damage, although you feel no pain. What if, you wonder, what if you had taken another path that would have avoided this fate? Yet even this path, the botched robbery, the untrustworthy jewel thief, the tragedy of your life, was meant to be a new path of its own. Even this you had meant to be that one thing so many people crave, that chance to right your wrongs, to live it all again, another life. And so you slip from your pocket something you've carried with you all these years, something that has been by your side through thick and thin, a copy of your favorite book, games you can play in your head by yourself. Shed all your regrets and woes, all your lost hopes and dreams, and step into another life. This may be the simplest game in my compendium. It might also be the hardest. This game requires a deeper look at life than most humans are capable of. It will force you to look deeply at both your own quiet life and those of the souls of strangers. The rules. The good thing about this game is that, like many near impossible things, the rules break down into these simple steps. 1. Choose a life. 2. Take that life for yourself. 3. Live that life until a logical conclusion has been reached or a lesson has been learned. 4. Firmly eject yourself from that life, landing back into reality where you are now. The third step is most important with a game like this. While most of the games I've invented have fantastical or otherworldly elements which will cue most players to the nature of their false reality, this game does not. Once you begin living them, they might be indistinguishable from your own. Do not be greedy. Do not waste these lives. Relinquish the life when your lesson has been learned and return to yourself. It's crucial to remember that your actual life in this reality is the most valuable one of them all, despite its shortcomings. Ideally, once you have experienced another life, you will return to your own with a renewed and profound sense of appreciation. How to choose a life. In order to play another life, you have to first examine your own life and consider what is missing, and then determine how imagining another life would solve what's missing. So briefly, in 30 seconds or fewer, consider what elements of your life are dissatisfactory. Are you bored by your schoolwork or your job, your living quarters, your personal relationships? Choose a life that is substantially different or more exciting than your own. Here are a few possibilities for people who might have such lives. A famous athlete. Think of the most famous athlete you can. What makes his or her life so good? How many awards have they won? How many admiring fans do they have? What would your body feel like after achieving what they have? But careful, you'll have to play the sport if you do take on this life, and that could be tough. A popular musician. Is there a musician you wish you could be? One whose skin you would love to wear? One whose lifestyle you could keep up with? Do they have cool hair? What famous songs do you wish you could play or take credit for writing? Careful. If you decide to take on the life of a musician who is struggling with crippling addictions, imposter syndrome, or an overwhelming sense of loneliness, that will become your rock to push. The Pope. Sure, at first being the Pope might sound like a hopeless nightmare. Imagine being a celibate dying man living in a fortress in Rome, surrounded by physical riches that add no substance or joy to your life. There could be a good element, however. You may have a direct line to a supreme deity. If you have a plan to harness that power, the world could be yours. Old Sly Willie. Remember this old bastard? What you don't know about him will surprise you. Turns out he's got a cool car collection, a timeshare in Key West, a beautiful wife, Esmeralda, a bar in his finished basement, a stuffed antelope head on the wall by the bar, which he killed. Side note, that is part of another game. Inside note. A tiger. Roar. Now you're an animal. It also could be any animal, not just tigers. Watch out for poachers. A warrior toad. Explore Earth as a being from another planet, but meanwhile cope with the stoic loneliness of knowing you'll never see your homeland again and the baggage of being a brave emissary who forges forward with neither friend nor lover. You can also jump really high. Time traveler with futuristic technology in the modern day. Dark and brooding, with mysterious origins, you can only sit by and watch as humanity is doomed to repeat the mistakes that created the brutal timeline you've come from. Bumbling time traveler from the past in the modern day. Is this what humanity has come to? How has the future strayed so far from the traditions of your time? Everyone acts silly, rude, or downright ignorant, and only you know that the problems of today require the solutions from yesterday. Yourself in a parallel universe. Were the ones before this not exciting or substantially different enough? Perhaps you want to play as yourself. Perhaps the life you currently live is not the one meant for you. Inside each and every one of us burns the deep scars of regret. Decisions that were made in haste. Conversations with words not meant to be spoken. Lovers that have betrayed you, or ones you have betrayed yourself. Pinpoint a devastating moment and then turn back the clock to find a new path. Or for an added challenge, wipe the whole slate clean and start from scratch as a newborn. It's up to you. They say we only live once. Maybe this time, you don't. Taking another life for yourself. There are one of two ways to begin living one of these lives. Either jump right in at birth or find a pivotal moment from which to become the other being. This is easy enough unless you are playing as yourself, which I recommend as it's one of the most challenging. If you'd like to play as yourself, it's easiest to consider your life in its entirety as if you lie upon your deathbed. Shy away from nothing. Examine all of it, every last moment. Dwell on regret and heartache and pain. Then choose a catalyzing moment from your life and consider how you would have made a different decision in that moment. You can also do this if playing as someone other than yourself, but in that case you should be sure to fully consider all the joys and regrets of this other being. For example, what did old Sly Willie wish he'd done instead of going into trucking? Did the tiger in the forest wish it had eaten more antelopes? If you struggle with finding a moment, here are some examples that may jog your memory or inspire new sparks and flames. The friend who went swimming, with whom you could have gone to, and who never returned from the quarry that day. The day you let a bully torment a weaker student and never stepped in. The last job interview you failed, whether last week or 4 decades ago. The time you had the opportunity to prevent a friend from shoplifting but chose not to. The first job interview you failed. When you didn't chase your love and move to Paris. Missing your first child's birth. Also missing your second child's. Third child too, etc. The list can go on, but here's the tough part. You can only choose one regrettable moment per game. Choose wisely. Okay, I'm stopping here for now. I'll finish in the next episode. Thanks for watching.